The DA will be represented by Msimanga. Solly.
Thank you very much, Program Director. I will be lazy and use the most famous South African word, all protocol is observed. I think I'd written a speech that I wanted to use to reflect on the life of Ahmed Kathrada. But as I was driving and listening to the radio, there's something that struck me. And I think this is something that we all need to reflect on, is that there was a generation that wanted to stand and represent something that is different, something that was strong, a generation that was willing to stand and say, in spite of government, in spite of everything else, we have to stand and we have to do something. We now live in a world, or we now live in a country where everybody's expecting somebody else to do something, and we need to reflect on that and say, are we going to continue to expect something to be done by somebody else? Are we going to then stand and say we have to do something on our own? To my friend Mera Mukhopa and all the political leaders from other parties, I think it is upon us to then say, as much as we're making these promises, we also need to then engage and challenge the communities around us, to then say it is not the job of government on its own to do all these things, but it's all of us holding hands and standing up and saying, how do we do it together? And I think that is what the Kathrada Foundation is also trying to reach out to build in the next generation that is able to then stand and is able to then achieve greater things. I think today, as we reflect and remember and recommit ourselves to the values and principles to which Kathrada lived his life by, the principles of democracy, equality, inclusivity, and non-racialism, to name just about a few. Ahmed Kathrada embodied the resilience of the fortitude of a nation that refused to be silenced in the face of injustice, the resilience and the fortitude now required by every South African. Ahmed Kathrada's journey is a testament to the power of the human spirit. Alongside his fellow Rivonia trialists, he endured 26 years of incarceration on the desolate shores of Robben Island, a symbol of apartheid's cruelty and injustice. Their crime, their unwavering commitment to justice, equality, and freedom for all South Africans, regardless of race. What would have been easy for them to come out bitter after 26 years in prison, Kathrada's story is not one of despair, but one of unwavering hope and resilience. Despite the darkness of his confinement, he emerged as a beacon of light, dedicated his life to the pursuit of democracy, equality, social justice, and non-racialism. His courage, his sacrifice, and his unwavering principle continue to inspire our generation and should reflect and inspire the next generation as well. As we reflect on Kathrada's legacy, we must also confront the harsh realities of the present. We must also reflect on what significant role has been played. As much as strides have been made since 1994, our journey towards a truly just and equitable society is far from over. The wounds of the past still run deep, and the scars of inequality continue to mar the fabric of our nation. Today, South Africa stands at a crossroads. We are confronted with daunting challenges, from crime to inequality, corruption, and mass unemployment. The dream of a united, non-racial South Africa, envisioned by Ahmed Kathrada and countless others, remain elusive to a whole lot. But we cannot lose hope. We should not lose hope. Let us draw strength from Kathrada's unwavering resolve and his commitment to justice. Let us confront the harsh realities of our present circumstance with the same courage and determination that he did during his 26 years in prison, knowing that the journey towards a better South Africa begins with each and every one of us. In honoring Ahmed Kathrada, let us not merely pay lip service to his memory, but let us be inspired by the example to redouble our efforts towards building a more just, equitable, and inclusive society. Let us strive to be the change we wish to see in the world, knowing that the journey towards a truly free and fair South Africa is long and challenging, but also knowing that the journey is indeed worth taking. As we remember Kathrada, let us recommit ourselves to the noble ideas and ideals for which he fought, for which he lived by. Let us stand together, united in our diversity, as we continue the journey towards a brighter, more inclusive future for all South Africans. And we as a Democratic Alliance wish to further commit ourselves to the free and fair elections come 2024, 29th of May. In closing, I want to then say that it takes ordinary people doing ordinary things every day that they can achieve extraordinary things. It's when all of us stand and not pointing fingers at each other and saying, what can we all do together ordinarily, that we're able to then achieve great things. It starts with a simple thing, picking up a piece of paper on the side of the road. It starts with simple things, reporting crime when you see it, and not turning a blind eye and say, well, it's not my responsibility. It starts with somebody who is then able to then stand and say, if there is crime that is committed, I will be the first to report it. That we do ordinary things, that extraordinary things begin to then happen. That is what we all need to reflect on. That is what we need to stand up on. And that's what we need to then teach the generation that come after that. If we're able to do that, we will indeed leave a country, a province, a ward, a house that everybody else will be proud of for the next coming generation. Thank you very much.